The latest vaccine guides to enter Thailand, reinstating the mask once again in the country, and lastly, arresting of the notorious Mr. Underpants. That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Could you please take a moment to click the like and subscribe button? It helps us way more than you know. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand. This show is brought to you by Thai Vietjet and British International School Phuket. And this is the lovely Nati Warisa.
Hello, everyone.
Love the outfit.
Thank you very much.
And I will be your host for today. My name is Jay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning Thailand. It's a nice, fairly bright Wednesday morning here in Bangkok.
It didn't rain yesterday, did it?
It did not.
Right. It's been lovely weather so far.
So far.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got quite a few topics to talk about today. We're going to start off talking about traveling to Thailand. So it is July the 6th, but this is referring to our latest article on Thaiger.com, and it's basically about if you're traveling to Thailand, what are the latest vaccine guidelines. And the reason one of the other reasons I chose this topic, Natty, was because while I was doing my weekend update on Sunday, I believe a couple of people were asking me, am I under-vaccinated? According to Thailand, what is a full vaccination? Is it 2 doses plus a booster? Well, after reading the guidelines, I was still slightly confused, if I'm being completely honest, but I'm going to try my best to let you know what is considered vaccinated. So
enlighten us.
So you think you're vaccinated, but are you? Or perhaps you're unvaccinated or even under-vaccinated. What does all this mean for you if you're traveling to Thailand? The following info was updated by the Thai government and published on June 28, 2022. Now there's a link in the description below directly to the article where you can actually go through all the approved vaccines by the government. So you can have a look there and check them out to see if you fit under one of those vaccines or if you have those. But to be fully considered vaccinated in Thailand, you need to have your second dose of a 2-dose vaccine no less than 14 days before the travel date to Thailand. You either need to get a single dose of a vaccine no less than 14 days before the travel date to Thailand, or in case of a mix and match of a vaccine, you need to get the second dose of a different vaccine within the recommended interval of the first vaccine no less than 14 days before the travel date to Thailand. Now you must be asking yourself, what? And I think that's a fair question because, it is slightly confusing, but basically they've put a cap of no less than 14 days before you've gotten your last dose. That's a bit oversimplified, but yeah, keep that in mind. And the guidelines to be considered as fully vaccinated when having been infected with COVID-19, you need to have had received a single dose of COVID-19 vaccine at any time after the recovery. It is required to submit proof of a medical record of COVID-19 recovery alongside the single dose vaccination certificate. Or you're fully vaccinated before contracting COVID-19, then you're still fine. And recovered from COVID-19 within 3 months before traveling to Thailand, it is required to present a valid medical certificate certifying the full recovery. Or, to make it as simple as I can for people, just a quick check. Shai, is the video done? Yes. Okay, the video is done, so I can look directly at the viewers, Natty, and give them this message. If you're traveling to Thailand, this is something I got directly from the TAT and something I believe to be true and right. At the point of entry to Thailand, okay, you've booked your flights, and whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, this applies to both of you, whether you're in either category. At the point of entry into Thailand, travelers will only need to show proof of either a certificate or vaccination. So if you are vaccinated, just show proof of your vaccination. If you're not vaccinated, you have to show a negative RT-PCR test or a professional ATK test result within 72 hours of travel. So if you're vaccinated, show your vaccination proof. If you're unvaccinated, show your negative RT-PCR test or an ATK test. Now, there's a slight confusion here because we had a recent article written yesterday, Natty, where one person at the Manchester airport was denied entry to fly to Thailand because that person did not have that person did not have any proof of vaccinations. They were unvaccinated. They wanted to travel to Thailand, and they were denied entry because it wasn't updated. There's so much confusion about what's allowed and what's not allowed. They were not allowed to fly to Thailand, and therefore were almost denied entry. And the passenger kept saying, like, look, I can arrive in Thailand and do a self-administered ATK test on the spot. And there's some articles and a lot of news outlets that have actually there's proof of that, and there's evidence of that you can travel to Thailand and take an on-the-spot ATK test. But there are others, like the TAT, for example. I got this directly from the TAT. They don't say that you can do a self-administered or ATK test on the spot when you arrive in Thailand. So, for example, from the UK, traveling from Manchester, this passenger was denied entry. You know, have to go through a lot of work and show proof and get a negative RT-PCR test or ATK test, and then they were allowed to board. So, to avoid any confusion, if you just show vaccination proof or proof that you're negative before you travel, you'd be allowed in, right? But we're going to clear this up today. We're going to clear this up today. If you do arrive in Thailand, you actually can do an ATK test on the spot as well. All right.
That's a lot of information. So I understand that people will get confused because different outlets also kind of highlight different things. Like for us, like, because our primary audience members are expats. We try to give out information the easiest way to come to Thailand, whereas some Thai media outlets, they're more concerned about the health, and they're like, you have to get vaccinated no matter what. You know, they're not giving false information, but, you know, like, we highlight different things. So it's very confusing for the consumers as well. I can see that. Yeah.
So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, depending on where you're traveling from, just make sure that to make it as easy as possible, if you're vaccinated, just have your vaccination proof. If you're unvaccinated, just have a negative RT-PCR or ATK test. But yes, according to what is known, after July the 1st, you can actually arrive into Thailand and do an ATK test on the spot.
Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our next topic, which is actually regarding some negative and bad news. Possibly, allegedly.
Okay.
The Thai health authorities are recommending the reinstatement of mask wearing. How dare they, Natty?
No! So, you know, COVID has been seeing a downward trend since April 1st, but it has plateaued, and right now it's kind of slightly creeping up again. Now, they say that the highly contagious BA4 and BA5 Omicron subvariants are currently causing problems in Thailand, just like they are in many countries. There are more hospitalizations, but no trend of higher number of deaths, which is a good thing. The number of deaths are pretty low.
Yeah.
But with the statistics from many countries suggesting that BA4 and BA5 are highly transmissible, the Thai medical authorities are recommending the government to increase the current control and prevention measures. The BA4 and BA5 subvariants became the dominant COVID strains in places like Australia, Germany, France, and so many more places. And they say that these are more infectious than previous COVID variants and subvariants, and are showing signs of evading immunity and vaccines and previous infections. And it was only last week in June that, you know, the government kind of said it's voluntary now to wear masks out in public, but now they're kind of recommending to put back the masks because it's not safe and that the viruses can mutate if we don't prevent it right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, firstly, let me say that these comments are coming from health authorities. They're always, you know, so medical professionals and, you know, people working in the health department. So their thoughts and their opinions will always be, you know, a bit, what's the word?
Biased towards health?
No, yeah, like, you know, health first, right? So prevention, you know, protect yourselves, and health professionals and medical experts will always go the safest way possible, right? And so that's one thing. And secondly, they don't actually have any authority to make this happen, and that's why they're recommending, the CCSA and health officials who are actually in charge of changing this rule. But even though they might have a point, right? I'm not trying to say that these health professionals don't know what they're talking about. They might have a point, and medically and scientifically, they might have the right reasons, but we cannot go back now. That's what I think. We've already taken out the mask requirement, right? We cannot put that back now. We cannot continue this trend of flip-flopping and not sticking to our decisions. We made a decision, stick to it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I agree with that statement. I mean, like, why are we walking backwards almost? Like, we should keep going forwards. Anyhow, the viruses will mutate, as in many diseases in the world.
Yeah.
Once it's kind of out there in the world, it will continuously mutate, and that's just the way the world works, I guess.
And we've spent all this, it's taken us all this time to, get rid of so many of these restrictions. And the mask wearing seemed to be, according to the viewers, according to a lot of people abroad, tourists coming into the country, it seemed like a big hurdle for them. And now that they've decided it, you're right, a lot of people were opposed to it, a lot of people were for it, but the decision's been made. We can't go back now. Like, it sets a wrong precedent, and I think Thailand in general has been flip-flopping quite a bit, and this is only going to cause more confusion, right? If they do reinstate it, then it's like, what are we doing? Like, we're on, then we're off, then we're on again in 3 months, and then if it goes bad, then we're off again. We can't do that. We just can't.
I like what you said about the people who are recommending these things are people from the Faculty of Medicine at the Sirirat Hospital.
Okay.
Obviously, these are doctors, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, there are many, many sides to wearing masks. There's not wearing masks per se, but like just that word, can I use it? On the C word? The COVID thing is... what was my point again? It's just that there are many sides to COVID, right? Health is one of them. Economy is one of them. People's mental health is one of them. So if you're listening from one side, which are the doctors who care about the physical health, then obviously they would say wear a mask. If you're talking to a business person who relies heavily on tourism, then they'll be like, come on, let's not do this, right? So it depends. You have to take in account all the factors, and that's where the government would have the... Hopefully they'll make the right decision.
And the government did. Like, they did take in all, they did take advice from all these medical professionals, all these business. They looked at the economy, they looked at the inflation, they looked at everything that's going around. Tourism wasn't improving, so they were like, all right, let's make this decision to get rid of the mask requirement. They've done that. They have to stick to that. That's it. So I do respect the opinions of these health officials. However,
for sure.
As a country, now that the decision's been made, we must stick by it.
Yeah, and again, the mask wearing is voluntary. So if you don't feel comfortable taking off your mask, then don't. Like, you have that option.
Absolutely. Voluntary being giving people the choice, and that's how it should be. All right, let's take a quick break, Nettie. Once we come back from the break, we're going to be addressing our poll. We're going to be talking about traveling domestically. We have a story about farmers using bathroom cleaners as fertilizers.
Yikes.
That's a strange one. And a couple more stories, so we'll be back right after this.
Your next destination is only a click away. Fly Thai Vietjet.
Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand, and this show is brought to you by Thai Vietjet. What a world we live in. We're sponsored by an airline. Thank you very much, Thai Vietjet, for sponsoring the show. Natty, like I told you, domestic routes can cost as little as 477 baht starting this August the 1st until the end of the month, end of the year, 31st September 2022. And if you're planning, and if you're really good at planning, you can plan a year in advance for an international trip next year for as little as 1,777 baht starting 10th July to 21st March 2023. So pack your bags, Natty. We're going abroad.
Yeah. We should go to Vietnam.
We should. That's a very good idea. I'd love
Yes.
to try. I've never been to Vietnam.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah, I've heard it's a majestic country.
I would say I love their coffee. How about that? Love their
Vietnamese coffee, is it different? I mean,
It is.
the beans, I'm guessing.
I would say it's a lot more darker than the Thai ones.
Okay.
And they use a lot of those milks that are very sweet.
Milks?
Condensed milk.
Oh, condensed
Yeah.
milk, I see. Cool. So same but different?
Same but different.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, fair enough. Let's now take a moment to thank Nebula37. Thank you for being a Thaiger member. We appreciate your support, as well as all the people watching us live right now. There's about 378 people, Nettie. 49 likes. What's going on? Please click the like button if you're enjoying the show so far, or just because it's a Wednesday and Nettie's wearing sky blue. What did you call it?
I called it baby blue.
Baby
but
blue.
Sky blue, I think Carmel shares your sentiment. Actually, I saw a comment there as well.
Baby
saying
blue Nettie.
Sky blue. Yeah.
Baby blue Nettie. Yes, so please click the like button. It really does help the engagement of the video, and a lot more than you actually think. So every little matters. Thank you very much. All right, let's address our poll yesterday. Now, we were talking about how Khao San Road might possibly be the next hub for the green, because some officials really wanted it. So we asked the questions. The chance for the government to use cannabis to boost tourism shouldn't be turned down. That was actually a statement from the local Khao San Road businessman. A lot of the people who are actually working in Khao San wanted to be the green hub. My opinion was, yeah, sure, why not? Makes sense. Yours was also pretty
yeah.
much the same. But we asked the public, do you think making Khao San Road a green hub is a good idea? 44% said no. That's right. 44% said no. Why ruin something that's already great? That's a fair point, right? I mean, it's not like you could never buy the green there before, but maybe they're just against making it a hub. It shouldn't be known for that. It's already known as a backpacker haven,
A hippie place.
a hippie
Yeah.
place, or whatever. It's known as a fun place to go and just drink your worries away. So 44% said no. 42% in second place said yes, it's a great opportunity for the economy. So only 2% down. 42% still feel like it's a great opportunity. And 14% said maybe not right now, let's wait a little.
Okay.
So overall, I would say 50-50
yes.
for a yay to nay. What are your comments on that?
That was surprising. Actually, I thought more people would be for it.
Okay.
Because I felt like your arguments yesterday, even if people were sitting on the fence, would push them to the other side of the fence, like yay for green, because it kind of sections off things. So,
Yeah.
But I guess you got to come up with a stronger argument for that. No, but
And it had quite a lot
Yeah.
of votes as well. It had almost 1,600 votes.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Chai, what is this?
What happened?
Never mind, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Never.
I'm gonna pretend like because I
Nothing
don't know
happened.
actually what happened, but I'm guessing something must have happened. Let's just swiftly move on to our next topic, which is regarding suitcases packed as Thais get ready for domestic travel. But actually, since we're on the topic of the green, shall we talk about the green a little bit?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm gonna skip these two stories that I had, and I'm gonna talk about the government, the Bangkok deputy governor, actually, he's come out and said smoking and selling the green in public is illegal. Because people seem to have their own opinion about what is legal, what is illegal, and currently in Thailand, because it's like a go for all, and the laws aren't extremely clear, people are going all out and just going out onto the streets and selling wherever they want. But the Bangkok Deputy Governor Kun Chakapan has had to take a moment and come out and remind the public that smoking and selling greens in public is actually illegal in public places. The reminder follows a meeting in which vendors were calling the infamous Khao San Road to become a new hub for the green. But it seems that green vendors have already taken to the streets of Khao San. They were there before, but now actually, Natty, if you go to the street, like going up and down the streets, there's like a couple of guys with like a bag that will actually sell you pre-rolled joints. And pictures were posted on social media of these vendors like basically selling these pre-rolled joints, and they were charging high prices for it. And yeah, they even had vans moving around Bangkok selling the green. You know, like an ice cream truck. They just ride up to places, open up the back, sell you the greens, pack it up, and leave. That's not actually allowed. And because also they don't have the right, legalized license. And he had to come out and say, look, it's still a fine. Like, green smoke was written into recent legislation as a public nuisance. So if you're actually smoking the green and the smoke hits someone and they actually feel like, hey, I'm annoyed by this, I'm not cool with this, they can actually report you and you can get in trouble. And it's still a criminal offense punishable by up to 3 months imprisonment or 25,000 baht or both.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Jail time's not fun.
I mean, think about it. Like, let's say you're not much of a fan of the green, you don't like it, you don't mind me smoking it, but if I was smoking it and the smoke went to you,
Secondhand
surely
smoke.
you'd be annoyed, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like, surely you'd be annoyed. And you could actually report me.
Oh, no.
And I'd get in trouble, right? And but that's the thing. Thailand is currently in a phase whereby greens is decriminalized, but clear legislation on issues such as consuming, buying and selling is yet to follow. And that's why everyone's just selling it everywhere, because it's unclear. And without clear legislation, it is almost impossible to regulate the green use. So the Ministry of Public Health is currently working on a Green and Hemp Act, which intends to clear up some of the confusion. So once this act is actually out, it'll be clear cut what's allowed and what's not allowed. But yeah, any initial thoughts, Natty? What do you think about this?
I just feel like people should be a little bit more respectful. The people who actually are behind this whole green movement, they worked long and hard. They fought for this to happen in Thailand one day. And now people are just kind of, oh, well, there's not a clear law, so let me just like abuse it right now while it's still in the gray area. Guys, don't do that. You're kind of like not doing the people who fought for a really long time a favor. I think you should recognize that, okay, good, green is legal somewhat. If you want to do something that, is a little bit gray, do it privately, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. But don't be so blatant about it, right? Like, it's not good for anybody, including you who's doing it.
Well, these mobile vendors, especially, Natty, the ones that can like move in their truck and stuff, like what they're actually doing is illegal, because selling the green in public place is illegal. I mean, that's straightforward. You're not allowed to sell in a public place, because it's different from green dispensaries. Like, these dispensaries that are selling the green, which are stationary in a shop somewhere, they're registered and they're allowed to sell the green at registered locations. So they've registered their shop, they registered their license to sell it. They're doing everything illegal, like legally. But then, these random shops that move around, like, you'll just see some guy just set up with a table, a cloth on top, and like, here are a couple of jars. Here's something I grew at home. Most probably he's not selling it legally.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was talking about on Sunday as well. On Saturday evening, I visited a very nice establishment in Soy 11 that was selling it in their bar, And people were, there was an open menu, you could choose what you want, you could get roll joints, you could enjoy it while you're there, and it also had a club and you could go inside and dance.
I like the club aspect of that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, was it legal? I mean, certain aspects of it were definitely illegal. Someone rolling a joint and giving it to someone, like, oh, here, you can smoke it here. It was in public, right? So legally, think about this, right? So we were sitting in the establishment. So it's a private business. What we do there is our own business, right? So it's open area. But if, let's say, you were sitting on another table, even though you're in a private place, I guess if I smoked it and the smoke hit you, you could get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, firstly, you'd punch me. Secondly, you could get me in trouble.
Right.
Because that would still be causing nuisance.
Right.
I'm not in my own home. I'm not in my private place. So it's like, what's legal? Can I do this? Can I not do this? I think most people are not questioning it. So they're just kind of going with the flow.
Yeah.
And I think it's just going to take a little bit of time before confusion and things get a bit more clear. But other than that, like you said, let's not ruin something that is good.
Yeah.
You know, it might not be good for me. It might not be good for you, but it might be good for someone else out there.
Yes.
So even though we don't have to agree to understand the need for it, and that's okay.
Well
All
said,
right.
Jay. By the way, can I
Yes.
just interrupt a little bit?
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger 86 is now a member for 3 months.
Ah, Tony the Tiger.
He says 3 months with Tiger. Love watching GMT.
Yeah.
Until I become fluent in Thai, I will keep watching GMT. Ha ha ha.
Very
Thank you very
nice.
much, Tony the Tiger 86.
Tony thought like a tiger.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
Nettie, let's now talk about the farmer and his fertilizer. Now, Thai netizens have had a mini breakdown, and I agree, and I would too, because a farmer was using bathroom cleaner as fertilizer. Now, these pictures of a Thai farmer using this bathroom cleaner as fertilizer in his rice fields have basically sent people online into a craze, as in, are my crops actually been fertilized by bathroom cleaners? You've got more on this.
So a lot of Thai people are saying, I will not eat rice anymore.
Yeah.
Some people are commenting that using bathroom cleaners would cause cancer. And some people actually came out and say, like, look, Thai farmers have been using this method for a long time, adding that the objective is to get rid of the bacteria and diseases that come from moisture. And because the cleaner includes hydrochloric acid, it actually helps clear the black mold, rust, stains, bacteria, and germs. They also even go so far to say that, you know, in other industries, for example, the fishing industries, they also use something to that effect, like just using chemicals on top of food itself, right? And the farmers that use these bathroom cleaners claim that they didn't know about the dangers inside the chemical substances in the bathroom cleaners. They just simply tried it, found out that it worked, and then the news quickly spread into the farming community, and now a lot of people are using it in their rice farms. The good news, however, is that now the farmers know, because somebody has, been telling them that it is harmful, so hopefully they'll stop using it.
Don't use bathroom cleaners. But then again, our pesticides, pesticides can be bad for you too, right? Normal pesticides that they use on crops. I'm not going to go into a chemical conversation because I know nothing. But yeah. It's just something we don't really question, do we?
Yeah, we don't question.
The vegetables that you buy in the market, like, oh, it looks like corn. Smells decent. That's I just do the quick smell test.
Quick smell test.
Pretty much.
Right. How does the rice smell these days?
Rice?
Yummy? Yeah.
I don't smell rice. I just
Okay.
buy my rice and macro in big packs. But if you're buying vegetables, you look at it and it's like, does it look moldy? Is it got a dark color?
I didn't know you
You know.
cook. What?
Natalie,
I don't know. You
por
don't look-
favor.
You don't look like cookers.
I wouldn't say, but I can survive.
Right,
I wouldn't
okay.
say I'm like a cook or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of harmful chemicals in our daily, in our daily things that we use, like lipsticks,
Yeah.
face washers, even your toothpaste
Yeah.
has a lot of chemicals, the same chemicals actually that they use to clean bathroom floors. I'm not even joking. SLS, if you want to look that up. So if you want to use things that are completely pesticide free, that's very hard to find nowadays.
And expensive.
Well, not necessarily expensive, but it's very hard to find.
More expensive.
Not really. But
Is it
it's-
not?
No.
Do you use these organic things?
No, I don't, because
Oh,
I know
okay.
that even if I avoid the toothpaste, then
Yeah.
my sunscreen is going to have some chemicals. If I don't use the chemicals, then my shampoo is going to, there's going to be something
Okay.
on my body right
So
now.
you just accepted the fact that you're a chemical woman.
Yeah, I'm a bathroom cleaner just
You're
walking
basically
around.
radioactive at all
I'm
times.
like a bottle of
Okay.
bathroom cleaner.
Okay, cool. For now, we're going to take another quick break. Once we come back from the break, we'll be talking about domestic travel in Thailand and catching the notorious Mr. Underpants. I know we're all here for the Underpants guy story. So we'll be back right after this. Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. That's
Natty.
the beautiful Natty.
Oh, no.
I got in trouble because I said that's Natty.
Oh.
I was told to say this is Natty.
Or you can say it is Natty.
Is it rude to say that's Natty?
I didn't feel that way. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you don't feel it.
Yeah, I don't feel. I have no emotions.
This is the lovely Nettie. I am Jay, and this show is brought to you by British International School Phuket. Because guess what, Nettie?
Yes.
If I had potential in sports or academics, I could have actually gotten a scholarship to the
You?
school. I did not,
Okay, that's okay.
but I did get awards, if that makes you feel better. Because it surely does make me feel better. But yeah, the school actually offers quite a lot of scholarships for sports athletes. They have some, Thai nationals. They have Thai national swimmers. They have Olympic level athletes. Young athletes who are already at such a high level that they're most probably going to be competing for the Olympics. A lot of their students have football students who play football in the school have actually gone on to play for professional football teams around the world.
Wow.
Tennis athletes. Most recently, a student was is traveling to Europe to enter, and the ATP to the ATP tennis team or tournament. But yeah, my point is, not just sports though, even academics. If you're very gifted in academics, BISP is a place for you to be.
Can I ask you, I'm not sure if you even know this, but
Yeah.
how young do you have to be to start training for the Olympics?
How young do you have to be?
Yeah.
I
Or
don't
or
know.
when can you spot a talent like as young as 7 years old and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
you're really
sure.
good at swimming. Let's make you an Olympian.
I think I'll give you an example for football. Like the Chelsea Academy, they have like under sevens.
Whoa.
I think under sevens is when they first start recruiting kids and who they think is talent. Like from 7 you can tell who, and then under 10s, under 12s, as the body develops. And then by under 15s you can tell, okay, this kid's is tall, you have a decent idea of how tall they'll be, how physical they are, if they're weak, if they're strong, and then they progress throughout the team. So in football you can tell from, I guess, they start accepting kids from under 7s. Yeah. And I don't know about swimming, to reach an Olympic level, you've probably been doing it for most of your life, right?
True.
You've started at a young age to be considered the best in your country and possibly the world. So it's a lot of dedication and sacrifice. But hey, guess what? If you did want to make that sacrifice and reach your dreams, why not study at BISP? That's British International School, Phuket. All right.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Wait,
now.
before you go,
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Franco7 who has donated £5. Thanks for the show with a smiley face.
It's actually
Thank you.
€5.
€5, sorry, €5.
That's all good.
Always-
Thank you very much, Franco. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you very much. All right. Let's now talk about suitcases packed as Thais get ready for domestic travel. Yeah, the number of locals planning for their vacations is predicted to spike for the first time since the pandemic broke out over 2 years ago. The country's tried many different things, including promotions and trying to, give incentives for locals to travel, like Rao Tia Doi Kan and 50-50, Kola Krung, but that's more for food and daily life. But yeah, Rao Tia Doi Kan, which gave you crazy discounts for flights and hotels while traveling to places. And the president of the Tourism Council of Thailand, Kun Shamnan, actually predicts that there will be a high number of Thai nationals traveling domestically in the third quarter of 2022. So that's actually before the high season, Natty. I thought I'd take a moment to look at some of the reasons why people would want to travel. And I've come up with a few. Tell me if you agree. Number 1, families. School's out for summer.
That's good. That's obvious.
Because my family is looking to travel.
Okay.
So my sister's school's closed down for I think about 7 weeks now. They're in their long summer holiday. She's enjoying her holiday. And yeah, my parents are thinking of going for a nice vacation, domestically first, maybe not international yet. So yeah, a lot of families out there, this is the time where they go, perhaps, they go to Europe. Some of them go back to stay with their parents, their dad or mom's family abroad.
Wait,
Some
we're
people-
talking about domestic though, yo?
Yes, we are
Okay.
talking about domestic.
Right.
But what I mean is like domestically, like what I mean by not only, so sometimes the dad might be a foreigner and they might go Western, but a lot of the time the dad or the mom, they might have family in Thailand and they also go visit families in Thailand, not just holiday. But so what I mean is like families first, school's out for summer, kids are free, Business owners, what if they think to themselves, let's travel during the low season so we can work during the high season?
Oh,
right?
fantastic idea.
Third quarter of the year. Let's close the business now because we, and let's like when it's New Year's, when it's Christmas, we'll sacrifice and we'll be like, we won't take any holidays, and let's gear up for the high season. This might be our best opportunity.
Right.
Take a 1 week holiday. Why not? Right. And the last one is just, it's summer.
That's always a good idea too.
Let's go out.
Travel, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Right?
The weather's great.
Yeah.
Sun shining in your eyeballs. So nice.
Well, it is the monsoon season, but ignoring that, because it was, we had a recent colleague who just returned from Phuket over the weekend, and I was like, "How was the trip?" He's like, "Oh, awful."
Oh, right.
It was actually Num. Num came back. He was in Phuket.
Oh, were you? I had
and
no
he was
idea.
like, "Oh, it was awful. It was raining every day." But depending on where you are, it's still summer, fairly. You can still enjoy it just because you like to travel. Yeah. Why would you travel, Natty?
Because I have money. No,
Just wanna
but
blow it up.
that's why I haven't taken a break for like 3 years now. Because I'm
you're
broke.
a high roller.
No, because I'm so broke. But yeah,
Baroque.
But I would travel because of family and friends, mostly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know your feedback. Why do you think it's a good time to travel domestically? If you're an expat, tourist, or anyone in Thailand really, why do you think they would like to travel in the third quarter of the year? Give us your feedback, because the voice of God is listening. And now to our last story today, Natty.
Yes.
Possibly the most important story for today.
The
Thai
most
police have finally arrested the notorious Mr. Underpants, who's a serial thief in his white briefs.
So, Mr. Underpants apparently broke into 9 banana mobile phone shops in locations all over Thailand. That includes Bangkok, Nakhon Si Thammarat, and so many more, stealing thousands of mobile phones in total. And every time, he wears only one single underpants. So he was wanted on 4 arrest warrants for more than 6 months, and police have finally apprehended the 23-year-old Karmas from Narathiwat province, but he's now better known as Mr. Underpants. Yes.
Underpants.
You know that song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it like Captain Underpants?
Yeah, it's Captain Underpants.
Okay.
I have the book. I have never watched that video.
So this guy just basically steals phones from phone shops.
Very specifically, banana stores. Let me get to you why.
All right.
Now, he has pleaded guilty to all the crimes because it was caught on CCTV camera. He can't really wiggle out of that. And then he told police this: "I only steal from banana stores because I like bananas and I like the color yellow. I like to take my clothes off and I like to only wear underpants. It gives me a feeling of confidence and I feel like myself." In 2021, the media in Yala province called me a psychotic thief. I didn't like that, so I stole a camera too. That's what he said. But he's not that bad. Okay, we're painting him as a very bad person, but this is also what he does. So Mr. Underpants said that he sold some of these phones and he takes what he wants and then he gives the rest of the money to the homeless people.
Okay.
So because he sympathizes with them, because he used to be homeless as well. And he said that the reason he steals mobile phones in particular is because when he was a child, all his friends had mobile phones, but he didn't. It sounds like he has some childhood trauma going on there that needs some resolving to be done. And according to Banana Mobile Shop, he has stolen close to 2 million baht worth of phones so far. But now that he's been arrested, he will now be prosecuted according to law. I don't know, this could be a case of Robin Hood, where he steals from the rich and gives to the poor, not condoning stealing by any means.
You stole my reference. I was about to say, he's
really?
like a modern day half Robin Hood, because he steals from the rich, takes what he wants a little for himself, like, hey, come on, I've done all the hard work here, and then gives to the poor.
He's like a hybrid. You know, a hybrid between Captain Underpants, Robin Hood, and Batman, with the childhood trauma stuff.
He's like a Suzuki Swift of thieves.
Suzuki Swift.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take another quick break and then address your comments and feedbacks. John Young, please let me know what time you'll be coming in today. I will address your comment very soon. So we'll be back right after this break.
Good Morning Thailand gets up to 80,000 viewers per week, and we'd like to weaponise our audience for you.
That's right. So if you have a business or property or even your house that you'd like to sell,
Private yacht?
yeah, we could be in space.
I'm not sure about space.
Well, all you have to do is contact us on info@thetiger.com and you can hire us up to a day or even a week and we'll go to your property and do the show live.
Good Morning Thailand, coming your way.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time for your live questions and answers. Let me please address a comment from John Young, who's actually been a member for 6 months, Nettie. Enjoying the show and finally here to see the show live while in Thailand. Jay, I am coming today. John Young is actually coming to visit us at the office.
Wow.
And John Young was the man who had that lovely picture with huskies and his friend slash partner.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the winner of our photo contest.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's actually coming into the office to visit us and collect his
The prize.
yeah, his what are they called?
Vouchers.
The vouchers for a 3-day, 2-night stay at Sheraton in Phuket. That's
I'm
right.
jealous.
So, John, I do look forward to seeing you. I apologize. I was supposed to reply to you, but Carmel.
Sorry.
I blame Carmel. It's all Carmel's fault. We'll talk about it later today. But I look forward to seeing you today at 3 p.m.
Yes.
We need to send him the address.
Yes, John Young,
I will send you
do
the
that.
address by email. Thank you very much. Apologies once again for the extremely slow reply. But yeah, we'll see you later today. For now, enter the chat, the voice of God.
Hello. Even though I already spoke. Okay. I'm gonna give a shout out to Gringo Papi for donating. What is CA? I guess Canadian dollars. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you
wow.
very
Thank
much,
you.
Gringo Papi. Does that just mean like the white dad?
Yeah,
I think so. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's just so funny to say that name. Okay, when you talked about traveling into Thailand, Gringo Papi said that don't worry, the requirements will be eased before the busy season at the end of the year. And then we had our Facebook commenters. Eva Domsek said overseas travelers to Australia, they don't have to be vaccinated and are allowed to bring in variants, whilst Australians have to keep getting vaccinated to protect themselves.
Oh no.
I didn't realize the comment was like that. Yes. Time Out asked, how old can the vaccination be?
How old can the vaccination be?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. According to the if you are double vaccinated, that's still vaccination proof. But according to the article, which is in the link there's a link in the description, ladies and gentlemen, so you can go and read it yourself. I believe that the second dose needs to be within 14 days or something. If you only have 2. It's strange. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people had something to say about the reinstatement of mask wearing.
Okay.
Roy Goad said, leave it to individuals to decide about masks. Most Thais are still wearing them anyway. And this is a long username, but Life After Kids with K. Williams said, close the border to the countries with high cases of COVID and no more, so that there's no more masks here in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I keep going?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I keep going. Okay, I shall keep going. Anders Lars Expat Live said, right now the cases are also going up in Europe. In Sweden, they recommend having masks now again in a public space.
I see.
Place. 212 Roger, our member, said, I'm returning to Thailand now for fear of the Thailand pass returning.
No, I think the Thailand pass won't come back. I think, if anything, it will be the mask. And currently, so I guess it's the opposite of Sweden, because here in outdoor spaces, and when you're outdoors, you don't have to actually, you're not required to wear a mask. But when you go indoors and in confined spaces, you're supposed to be wearing one. Well, will they ask you to, or they recommend it rather? It's not compulsory.
Yeah. Rusty Lid said, if you're in a crowded place, such as an elevator or the train, or in an area that has lots of Thai people wearing masks, just put one on. It's not that big of a hassle. Revolution of Our Time said, seriously, it's just a mask. You can take it off at a restaurant or wherever you're going. I don't understand the problem with it. Yes. And then our Facebook commenter, Frank Kerpiella, said that bringing back the mask mandate would only impact the tourists. I think the Thai citizens will still be okay with it because it doesn't really impact their daily life since they already wear it anyways. I'm not talking about the possible economic impact. I just talk about the people. There you go.
Very, very, very
We're
nice.
just
Sorry,
listening.
it just
Very
keeps
good.
going.
Just
There's like
comments, I get it.
so many of them.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
All right. Are those all the comments?
From the mask wearing. Yes.
I see. Okay.
Do I keep going?
Sure.
Okay. So now when you talked about the survey
Yeah.
about Khao San being the green hub, there were a lot of people that said that it wouldn't be a good idea. But Brad F said that Thailand is already the hub for everything, so why another hub? You know?
True.
Actually, I kind of agree with that. We don't have to claim like, hey, this is the hub, but insiders know. You know, like if you know, you know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
also okay.
Yeah. The fact is that in Asia, Thailand is already the first country to decriminalize the drugs, so it's by default become a hub,
Yeah, we the hubs.
whether we like it or not.
Barney
Did
Muldoon
you just say
asked,
we the hubs?
We,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry for interrupting you, Kamal, but I just heard Nettie say we the hubs.
Yeah, we the hubs.
You're the DJ Khaled of Good Morning Thailand, of the Tiger team. We the hubs.
Yo.
All right.
Okay.
yes, Barney Muldoon asked, what did you mean by selling it in public? The greens.
As in, you can't. You need to be a registered. You need to be a registered dispensary selling it in a registered location. So, as in a shop that's registered, so the government knows. If you're a person selling it on the streets, if you're a person selling it in a mobile vehicle, that is illegal.
Lim K said that if you are selling the green in Khao San, other harmful drugs will be included, so
Yeah.
they wouldn't advise that it's...
Can I give you an example? For example, the establishment I went to last weekend was actually a medical dispensary, right? They've registered them. They've done everything legally. They've registered themselves. It's a registered location. They have a license to sell those buds. What they're selling is also a legal product. What you do with it is none of their business. They're just selling it to you. And in their private establishment and in their private area, if you smoke it there, you do you. Everyone there is smoking it. So you're not causing a nuisance to anyone. So technically, they're not doing anything illegal. But, you know, there's always a little...
In a way, I
Sorry, go.
No. In a way, I don't mind it. Not that I don't mind. I like the fact that you have to be licensed
Yeah.
to be able to sell it legally, because in a way, it's protecting the consumers as well. Like they should not feel like it's a nuisance to them, because if you buy something from a shop, let's
Yeah.
say, and then you get ill from it, or something wrong goes wrong, then you can kind of trace it back to the license, the FDA, like, did it go through the process and everything? Like, it's traceable. So it's good for everybody. That's all I wanted to say.
When you talked about... Natty mentioned a while ago that whenever certain laws get, like, passed on, right, some people abuse it because of the gray area. So that's what Franco7, our member, said that seems to be a common problem in Thailand. The moment the government lifts some rules, a lot of people try to do anything to step over the limits and use the gray area for their benefit. And then
Yeah.
it messes things up for everyone else.
That's true.
Yep.
So I've got a question here from Dom1 who says, who in the hell would buy a substance from a stranger on a Thailand street? Oh, Dom1, there's a lot of people who do that.
Desperation.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who do that. I mean, yes, logically it wouldn't make sense if you're a person who is not into certain substances and wouldn't be in that position in the first place. Yeah, you'd feel strange. But if you are a person who's enjoying yourself and would like some substances that can only be bought from strangers on the street, then they do what they do, I guess.
Okay.
Here we go. Can I take another question?
Yeah.
I've got a question from Look R. He says, Jay, do you want CR7 at Chelsea? That's Cristiano Ronaldo at Chelsea. Look R, I mean, the fact that he might get us 20 plus goals, yeah, I don't mind. Do I prefer him? No. I'm happy with Raheem. I'm happy with Ousmane Dembele, or even, what's his face?
Abdul.
Who?
What?
Did you just say Abdul?
Yeah.
Who's Abdul?
I don't know. You were saying
You
some
just said a
football
random name.
Because you were looking at
A random
I was
Middle Eastern man's
oh,
name.
Must say something. Okay.
Oh,
I think
Rafinha,
you-
that's the one.
Yeah. I think you just alienated more than half of our viewers.
Yeah, the numbers are going down. Anyways,
Okay.
we have about 491 people watching, almost 500 people watching us live right now. Please click the like button if you're enjoying the show so far.
We also
Hi,
have
Uncle.
Facebook viewers.
Oh
And
yeah.
hello,
please,
Natty's uncle.
if you're watching.
Yes.
PG Gangsta says, when is part 2 of the Surathani video available to us commoners? You guys are not commoners. You guys are Thaiger family members,
Yes.
right?
And actually, for the Surathani video, everybody gets access to it at the same time.
Yes.
So video number 2 will be released on Saturday. It's just the extra footage, bloopers, and extra scenes, some fun video, some fun times that we had. We've made a special video for members only because they deserve it. You know, they support the channel. They deserve that extra footage. But when it comes to our main projects or our daily shows, everyone gets access to it at the same time. It's just those extra perks that the members deserve.
Right.
Yeah.
So in short, PG Santa, Saturday at 2 p.m.
Yes. Nice. Okay. I'm checking what other comments I've got. Oh, you asked a while ago about how soon can you spot kids for scout kids for the Olympics, right? And so people were chiming in about that. Darm once said, Natty, they look at natural ability at any age, then push them really hard. For tech symbol, he said 5 years old in China, as young as 5 years old.
Wow.
PG Santa said, if you're a Chinese gymnast, 2 years old.
Ooh, they can barely talk at 2 years old, no? They're like, goo goo gaga.
2 years old, I don't know.
That's
about
so
that.
young.
I mean,
But there are some videos of really young kids, gymnasts, they're really talented.
I actually, talking about the Olympics, I actually read a documentary where Michael Phelps was actually talking about how he had to struggle with depression after he finished his career, because especially for people who do single man sport or single women sport, single athlete sports like swimmers and gymnasts, they're working their entire life towards one goal. Just one goal. I want to be an Olympic athlete and win gold for my country. And when they achieve that at the age of 21 or 25, now they're like, now what?
Yeah, true.
They've spent 15 plus years training every day because it's just boring, right? It's just routine. And then once you've gotten your goal, you're like,
Right.
what now?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those athletes actually suffer from depression and, a loss of identity. What do I do next with my life?
Actually, I know that a lot of athletes also get depression during their training as well, especially when they come in young, like in their teens. There's been multiple cases like Russian figure skaters or even gymnasts where they're really good at gymnasts, right? And then the coaches spot them. So they're like, okay, we need to train you to be able to compete nationally or regionally. And the sheer amount of practice just takes away the joy that they initially came in as a hobby. But because they're so talented, now they're pushing them to the maximum limit and they don't
Yeah, I think
they don't
it's-
feel like I want to do this anymore.
It's also sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be at that level, it's a routine, it's sacrifice, it's missing out on social events. It's difficult.
right.
Not everyone can do it. It's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony the Tiger 86 said that most athletes retire at a really young age, 24 to 27 years old.
Right.
That's really young.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've run through all our questions for now. We hope you've enjoyed the episode. Please click the like button. Comment after the live video to give us any feedback on any of the topics that you've enjoyed today. Also, perhaps to feature on Thaiger Bites. We're going to shoot that tomorrow. As for now, I'd like to say thank you, Nettie.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Carmel. And thank you to Vishai behind the scenes. And we'd like to wish you a very nice Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. And
I try to avoid saying that because somebody didn't like you when I said that.
and apparently, you know, nothing great happens on a Wednesday. It's just something we've got to get through. But I hope you have a good Wednesday or Tuesday night, depending on where you're watching from. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Bye.